Stop trying to run away from me and get the hell out of here. And then you tell me later what all has been going through your mind this whole time. I want to know why you were cuddling with my fiancé just then. Oh crap. So you really did see all of that. I was trying my best to get out of his arms there before you came. Well, you got away from me before I could question you about it. I want to know right now what's going on here. You think I'm going to come out of hiding when you're all angry with me? And I shouldn't have to explain anything to you, right? You already saw what was going on here. You just walked into the dressing room where your fiancé had been and he was cuddling with another woman, right? I shouldn't have to tell you what's going on. Are you kidding me? Does this mean you both have been in on this and have been hiding the fact that you both are together now? See, you knew what was going on here. We've been dating each other behind your back this whole time. It's been going on now for about 6 months. Excuse me? Come on now. It was mean of my twin sister to start going out with such a rich man while I had nobody to be with. We both have the same looks and everything even, yet you got to be the only one with a chance at becoming rich, which would leave me being left behind, becoming nothing more than a single and basic woman. Isn't that just the worst? Huh? Another thing, there is a major gap between Richard and you, right? At first I was thinking he was just some basic man himself who didn't even look good enough to be with you or I, but then I learned about how he is the son of a very wealthy family. Sounds like his family has a whole ton of different properties, right? Your reasons are because you found me being with a man like him disgusting and that only me becoming rich was unfair? Those are your frickin' reasons for letting your twin sister's fiancé start cheating on me with you? Hey, don't be so upset about that. I failed to get him to leave you like I had wanted. What was that? I was really trying to get him to jump over to me and leave you long before this day came, but Richard is a bit more stubborn than I had thought. And just before your guys' wedding today, he told me he couldn't marry me and then fled from me. However, I couldn't just let him leave me forever without one last memory, so I came into his changing room and started to cuddle with him. What the actual hell, though? Do you not realize what you've been doing by going out with Richard while he's been my fiancé? You just told me that you've been stabbing your own family in the back this whole time by going out with him behind my back. Oh, the wedding's going to be starting here soon. Stop trying to find me out of rage and get ready for your big day. I'm going to go out to my seat next to Mom and Dad now.
Mia, just give me one chance to speak with you. Let me explain to you what was just going on there. Can you please come back to the changing room to see me?
I don't ever want to see your damn face ever again. I've already heard everything from Amy about you two. It has been 6 months now since you first started cheating on me for my own sister.
Now, one might call it cheating, but I was just having a little fun is all. Look, you both look the same, but it's Amy who's a lot more exciting when it comes to romance. And well, when I realized she was that kind of girl, I just jumped onto her for a bit.
You're trying to say it was okay that you cheated on me because it was just for fun? You think I can forgive you for cheating on me with my sister and get back to having this wedding with you? No way in hell that's going to happen, asshole. This wedding is over.
What? Are you serious?
I sure the hell am. For right now, this wedding is being canceled, and later on we will talk about what to do next. We have to decide whether we'll stay together after this or break up with one another. I can't make those choices right now because I am so flustered, so give me some time and then we can discuss everything.
You think we can just cancel this wedding on the day of? Then screw it. If you don't want this wedding today, then we're through.
Really?
If you really wanted this wedding canceled that badly, then I can't become your husband. I'm gonna have this wedding today, and in your place, I'll be marrying your sister.
What the hell are you talking about? Now you're going to marry Amy? I have never in my life heard of a man changing who he plans to marry on the day of his wedding.
I'd rather this than have my wedding canceled on the day of. Both you and Amy have the same face and body as well, so nobody's even gonna notice that I'm marrying her now today and not you. And most of my guests here today are all close to me anyway, so I'm sure they won't even care. I can tell everyone later that I messed up the name on the invitations and everything, and they'll all buy it.
You're kidding me, right? Are you being serious about that?
Yeah, you think I'd be joking about this sort of thing? Also, having the bride change today will leave me feeling a whole lot better about things. To be frank, I think that your sister is far more cute than you, and a better lover in the bedroom.
Excuse me?
You both might share the same face and body, but she knows how to use both those things, unlike you. She is also very into me all the time and will laugh at all the jokes I tell her. When she started to date me half a year ago, I had never even known there could be someone so close to what a goddess is like. Well, near me.
You really seem more attracted to Amy than you've ever been to me.
It's not like you want to ever see my face again, right? So what does it matter to you that I'm going to break up with you and marry Amy now? Or were you just trying to make me feel bad by saying that? Really do want to marry me still? I guess you always have been falling head over heels for me this whole time.
Huh?
Yeah, that's right. If you tell me that you're sorry for getting all upset with me for simply cheating on you, then I'll rethink marrying Amy instead of you. Come find me right now. Apologize to me on your hands and knees for being so pissed off about me cheating. Then I'll think about marrying you again instead of your cute sister.
I'm not screwing around here, Richard. I am never going to have anything to do with a cheating bastard like yourself ever again. If you're going to ask me to apologize for being upset at your unfaithfulness, then go right ahead and marry Amy instead of me. I'll let her be the bride now.
Well, I hope you don't regret what you just said to me later. And now I need to go tell Amy the good news and make her my wife. Take that dress off and go sit down with your parents or something.
Hey, Mia. I already heard this from Richard, but are you really going to let me have him? It's a dream of mine to be married to someone like him. Yeah, you can do whatever you want with him now. He and I have broken up now, so I don't care who he gets married to. And that even goes for if my own damn sister decides to marry him. Then I'm not going to hold back and will be making him my husband. I'm going to get into that wedding dress right now and go find him before this wedding starts. But before this whole event starts, I want you to go home. What? I can't just hang around while the two of you get married? I was thinking it would be a nice gift to the both of you to sit back and watch you guys get married after I let you take my fiancé. I really don't like the idea of having my wedding in front of my fiancé's ex-girlfriend, though. I also know that you're just trying to hold your emotions back now, but deep down, the thought of having lost Richard to me is killing you, right? And the moment you see Richard and I up on stage getting married and kissing, all those emotions will come out and cause a commotion that I want to avoid. Huh? I can't have you breaking down at my wedding. That's why you need to go home right now. I don't want to watch as a woman who looks just like me breaks into pieces while I'm trying to be happy. Who do you think is responsible for you having a man to marry now after you went and laid your hands on him? But I guess that's an order from the bride of today's wedding, right? So I'll do just as you've said and go home. As long as you follow my word, you'll really be helping me out. I'll make sure that this gorgeous wedding you planned out is all enjoyed by me in your place. Thank you so much for giving me your wealthy man to marry today. And thank you very much for taking him off my hands. Huh? I never thought I'd be able to run away right before my fate to him had been sealed. I wanted to kind of see how things would turn out as his wife, but this is a far better ending. Thanks for the help, Amy. Wait a sec, May, huh? You are trying way too hard now to play this all off. You just had to give up your future of being married to a wealthy man and his rich family, and I'm sure you want him back. And then there's this gorgeous and massive wedding you're having to give up. Just tells me that it breaks your heart having to lose everything to your twin sister. Please, I want to hear that from you. Gorgeous and massive wedding, huh? If that's really what you think of it, then kudos to you. Huh? You'll understand what I mean by that very soon. Now I'm going to follow your demands and get on out of here. Please enjoy that wedding you have today, both of you unfaithful jerks. Wait, Mia! What the hell is going on right now? I have never seen a wedding as basic and low cost as this. What do you think of it? Have you come around to understanding what I meant now? I never thought you were so delusional that you thought a wedding like that was massive and gorgeous looking. You really think that single-piece white sundress is a wedding dress? And what about the food? Did you enjoy the fact that there was no course meal there today, but instead a bunch of different pizzas that we had ordered at a great deal? That really is the cheapest wedding I've ever seen, but I'm glad you think of it as being gorgeous and fancy. What happened to the wedding that a man from a wealthy family should be having? There was only one bottle of champagne for us to crack open. And it wasn't even real champagne either, but a simple sparkling wine. And we had to use small paper cups to drink it with. This cheap of a wedding is not supposed to be happening right now. Right? That's what I was thinking as well leading up to today. But it doesn't seem that Richard or his family have any idea what they're doing. They're all massive penny pinchers, and they made sure to do everything they could in order to not spend any more than they had on the wedding. What? Massive penny pinchers? What do you mean? Richard's family should all be full of very rich people who own all kinds of things, right? There's no reason for them all having to be so stingy, right? They might be very well off, but that's all because they're super stingy. What? Things weren't too bad back when we started dating. He may have been very wealthy, but he was very down to earth and never acted like he was better than me for having all that money. He would never overspend on anything and made sure to save up money along with me. But once we got engaged, I started to see just how bad things surrounding his family's penny pinching could be. And then I realized in the end that his family aren't all super wealthy people who own lots of properties, but just a bunch of stingy jerks that never use any of their money on anything. How did you find out all about that? It started with things like my birthday and our anniversary. When we were dating, he would go out of his way to make things special for me like I did for him. But once we became engaged, he told me that I'd become his family soon, so he didn't have to waste any more money on me. And since then, he didn't ever give me anything for any reason. No cakes, no flowers, no presents. What? Also, he made it clear to me that any dates we went on, we wouldn't be able to eat out. He told me that eating out was a waste of money for us, and so he'd always stop at a drive-thru and order the cheapest meals they had. When we'd go to the movie theater, he wouldn't let me buy anything from the concession, saying that popcorn from home was a lot cheaper, and so was bottled water. What? And just like all those things, today's wedding also turned into a nightmare filled with him and his family wanting to save every penny they could. Planning for it was hell, Amy. Because I not only had to deal with Richard being so stingy around me, but his parents as well. They would tell me it was stupid to put so much money into something like a wedding that only lasts a couple of hours. And they told me to get the cheapest options for everything, including the dress and wedding rings themselves. I wanted to spend a lot of the money I had saved up on the wedding because that's why I saved so much, but they all told me I couldn't and that I only had to deal with the cheapest options. What? There's no way. I thought that because his family is so rich, they'd all be paying for everything and you'd get to have the best wedding ever. Is that not the case? It sure as hell isn't. Today's wedding was supposed to be paid for by Richard and I, and I'll have you know I was going to be paying for 70% of that wedding in the end. What? That's why I wanted the wedding to be from one of my dreams, because I'd be having to put so much money into it myself. I told Richard off by saying that if I'm having to pay so much, then I'm going to make it my way. But when I went there this morning to get ready, his parents had told all the staff to stick with the cheapest stuff, so all the things I had planned out in the end were gone. They really wanted that wedding to be as cheap as possible, even though I was going to be paying for most of it. I didn't even get to have the dress I wanted, instead being given that cheap white sundress to wear. When that happened, I froze up with anger. You're lying, right? They took things that far and changed all the plans you had? They really didn't want me to have the wedding of my dreams today. And their reasoning for why they did all of that to me in the end was that we didn't have to show off to any of the guests just because they're all just family. That's how my wedding went from being something of my dreams to a completely cheap mess. And if that wasn't already bad enough for me, I had to walk back to the changing room to find you and Richard cuddling on the love seat in there. When I first saw that, I was dead inside. What? I was wondering why you came bursting into that room so upset about everything, and that's the reason why? I was still shocked by the fact my own twin sister had been laying her hands on my fiancé for half a year, and will never forgive you guys for that. But at least I don't have to sit through a wedding like that thanks to you. So I appreciate you taking Richard from me very much. You gave me the best reason for getting the hell out of that place. No way, I never heard anything about this. I thought that Richard and his family were all very well off and that after the wedding I'd be able to live my life however I wanted to with all their money. Well, that's never happening because it's impossible. They may have a lot of money, but they are all so stingy that you'll never be able to spend more than $5 on most things. So enjoy living the most boring life ever after today. And I'll have you know one of their rules is that you can only flush the toilet once per day. What did you say? There are plenty of other insane rules with them, which you'll find out about soon. Just make sure you don't do anything else fun after that wedding today, like a honeymoon, because that would be wasting all their money. Although I'm sure you won't want a honeymoon after you find out what's really in store for you. You're kidding me, right? Hold on. Please tell me more about what's going on here. I don't want to have this wedding anymore, and Richard is my husband. Now you have a wonderful marriage with Richard for me, okay? I'm going to go talk with a lawyer soon about the settlement I need to get from Richard, so we can talk again then.
Hey, Mia. What's this settlement you're asking me for? You think you can get $100,000 from me for just cheating on you? That is way too much to be asking me for.
Don't you dare say that what you did isn't worth $100,000. I made sure to have my lawyer look over all the things you'd done to me, and this was the amount he came up with.
Yeah, you got a lawyer?
I had to learn that you'd been cheating on me with my sister at our wedding. And that had been going on for half a year already. You then didn't even bother to say sorry for what you'd been doing, instead leaving me to take my sister's hands as your bride. All of these things I had to go through and witness, so I think this price my lawyer and I are asking for is very fair.
But you were the one saying the wedding would be canceled, right? That's why I ended up changing my bride to Amy instead of you. And you are just as much to blame for me leaving you as I am here.
The reason I said the wedding would be canceled is because I came into that changing room to find you and my sister cuddling on the love chair. Don't even try giving me excuses like that again for something you knew you were doing that whole time.
But okay, even still, $100,000 is a bit too...
Well, this is just too bad for you now, isn't it? All that money you've been saving up forever by being such a frickin' cheapskate is all going to vanish in front of your eyes. Had you just been faithful to me and not committed so many acts of war, then you could have kept all that money and not made me your enemy.
For God's sake, you're taking me down now, because I have all this money that you don't.
I don't care how you think of this. I just want that money from you, and until I get it, I'm going to keep on teasing you. I want you to understand just how much of a dick you really are, and this is the only way to make you think.
Crap. I get it all right. I just have to pay this off to you, right? Just pay it off. I have a lot more money than this anyway, so $100,000 isn't gonna hurt too badly. I'll make sure to even pay this settlement to you in one lump payment, to show you that I'm not affected by it.
That's what I expected to hear from the son of a very wealthy family. It is so cool that you can pay off $100,000 in one payment like that.
But after I paid you, don't you ever come around your sister and I again. I don't want to see your face ever again.
You don't have to tell me that. My plan was to never come around you guys again this whole time. But I hope you remember that from now on, your wife is going to have my exact same face, so you can remember me by that. Will you be able to withstand seeing my face every day when you take a look at Amy?
Shut up. You were thrown away by me, so shut the hell up. I don't want to hear from you or see you ever again.
Sounds good. Have a good one, Richard. And let my sister know to have a great time with you as well. Mia, I can't take this anymore. I cannot be married to someone as stingy as that any longer. My, oh my, what's happened, Amy? I thought you and Richard were going to have such a happy marriage together after you guys took that wedding from me. None of this is fun for me. It's like I've been living in this hell this whole time. It's all because you went and took $100,000 of Richard's money. This is all your fault, and now I'm never going to be happy again. What? How come all of that is because of me? You both knew that something like cheating would land you guys a settlement like that. And it wasn't like Richard didn't pay it all off to me in one payment, so he should have all sorts of money still. But he wasn't happy at all and has been super pissed ever since. He freaked out on me, saying that having to pay $100,000 for a woman like me wasn't even close to worth it. So until he's able to get that $100,000 back that he paid you, we aren't able to spend any money at all. And in order to cut costs even more for us, he's having us move back to his parents' house. What? You guys only just got married and you're already having to go back to live with his parents? I was totally against all of it, but Richard said that if I don't want to go and live with his parents, that I have to pay him the $100,000 right now. And then he said if I can't pay him that, I need to shut up and listen to him. I know that Richard has some money left after that settlement, but you never had any money to begin with, so of course you're not paying him anything. Also, I'm sure both Mom and Dad aren't going to be helping you at all since they're fed up with your crap, right? Well, that's why I'm having to listen to everything Richard says now. He said I'll just have to suck it up and deal with the amount of saving we'll have to do until he has that $100,000 back. At first, I thought I could deal with it all, but things have been far worse than I was expecting. I just can't do this anymore. And to make things worse, I'm starting to have to take all of Richard's mother's clothes as hand-me-downs. Is that right? Wow. When I first started moving over to his parents' house, his mom came to me saying I had to take all my expensive brand clothing and sell it. She told me that I'd have to sell everything of value that I had to make up for all the trouble I caused their son. So you really had to go and sell all of your clothing? His mother went and took all my things without telling me before she sold it all. I told her to stay away from my things because I didn't want to sell anything. But while I was out of the house for a bit, she took all my boxes of clothing and sold them. My clothing, my bags, everything. Wow. And after all of that is when his mother told me to start wearing her hand-me-downs. All of it is ancient and faded to hell. Damn. I would never wear someone else's clothing like that, even if they were my mother-in-law. I don't want to wear any of it either, but this is the only clothing I have now, so it's either this or I'm naked. And to make everything even worse, to save extra money, I've been told to only eat what I can gather. And so they send me out back to pick vegetables all day long and then make something with them. Because of that, my well-cared-for nails are all filled with dirt and are completely ruined. And it's not like you'll be able to go back and get another manicure, right? Of course not. I'm not even getting any money from the family. I can't even go out and buy myself a thing of gum. That's how poor I am now. That really is something you're having to live through? And definitely not the kind of newly married life that I'd want to have. But you wanted that life so badly that you went and took your sister's fiance from her. So, guess you really will just have to suck it up and deal with living in a penny-pinching family. Have fun. But I can't have any fun here. Please, come here and take my place. I'm sure he and his family will never even notice you coming in and taking my place as his wife. I'm sure you still have some feelings for Richard, right? I'll give him back to you as long as you come and take my place here. I have no feelings for that man anymore, and I don't want to live my life in that hell again. I would much rather continue living my life right now, making the money I want and spending the money I want. Sorry, but I would never want to live in your shoes right now. But I don't want this life anymore. What the hell am I going to do if you won't take Richard back? Are you telling me to just continue living like I'm poor? You were so happy before to have me give you my fiancé and then let you take over my wedding. Whatever happened to all that excitement, Amy? Maybe it's time you think back to what was making you so happy and use those memories to push you through those most troubling times. Good luck now. Amy went and pleaded for a divorce many, many times, but every time his family told her that until she paid them at least $50,000 for the money he lost to me, she would be theirs to keep. She started to try and make that $50,000 and went out to work part-time, but when she finally found one and started to bring home a paycheck, Richard and his family took 90% of it, saying that was the price for being his wife. So in the end, she was never really able to save up any money at all. And that life that should have been so easy and full of money for her as Richard's wife turned into a living hell she would never be able to escape from. Now, as for what happened with Richard himself after everything, let's just say he only started to lose more money. At first, he said he would start to sell some of his stocks that he had, but he realized too late that the market was really bad and ended up losing more money than he could even imagine. He then tried to buy everything back to wait for a better time to sell, but this led to him overspending and going into debt. He tried one last time to sell those stocks off during a better time so he could pay off his debt at least, but did not make as much as he thought, leading him to stick his hands into the family savings account. But even with that extra money his parents had saved up, he continued to lose more and more on the stock market. And to this day, I don't think he's found a way out of that downward spiraling situation.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Gordon, will you not be able to make it to today's meeting? Did you have to go into work or something today?
Nope, I've been around the house all morning. I've been eating a pizza and watching some movies.
What? You've been at home this whole time? Well, then you need to hurry up and come to the clinic right now. I told you already to bring me some change of clothes for today, right?
I'm the one that gets to choose what I do on my day off, right? During the week, I have to work hard every single day, so it'd be nice to actually have my weekends off.
Then when you get time, could you please bring me a change of clothes? I don't have any clean clothing left, so if you don't come today at some point, I won't have anything clean to wear.
You think I care? I'm not going to that hospital for you. If you want some new clothes to change into, then how about you go to the nearest store and get some?
Wait a second, Gordon? What's happened to you? Why are you getting all upset with me like that? Did something bad happen at work over the week?
This is not about my work, it's about you, Nicole. Tired of having to cater to you all the time. It's why I'm really sorry to say this, but you and I are getting divorced.
Divorced? What is all this about, Gordon?
It's been 3 months now since you got into that accident, right? I can't deal with this kind of a life any longer. The moment I get out of work and come back to the house, there are still all the dishes from breakfast on the kitchen counter. There's no dinner made for me either, and the house looks like a mess. How much longer are you going to stay in that hospital slacking off from all your chores at home?
What do you mean slacking off? I've still been going through therapy for what happened to me after that accident, and the doctors have said that the healing process will take time.
Well, what about you walking again? Last week when I came into the hospital, I was talking with the doctor about you. I asked him how much longer will it take for my wife to walk again so that she can come home and take care of me.
You asked the doctor something like that?
And then the doctor gave me his answer. He told me it would be very difficult for you to get your full mobility back. He then went on to say that a lot of therapy would still be needed, and that both you and I needed to be prepared for that. He then finished the conversation by saying that the best choice would be for me to start doing some of the chores, so that you could have time to focus on healing. What the hell does he think he's saying?
I have been talking with the doctor about my legs as well. He told me there would be a lot of rehabilitation before I'm finally mobile again, but that doesn't mean I won't be able to get around. He said that as long as I'm putting in a lot of effort, I'll be able to start standing on my own again and getting around slowly. And that over time, as long as I keep up with my therapy, I'll be back to how I walked before the accident.
You can work as hard as you want then, but I'm done with all this. I do not have the time to take care of some crippled woman.
Gordon.
You know dang well that I'm a very busy man with a lot of things going on every day. I have work 5 days a week, and that doesn't include the overtime I'm always having to put in to get my tasks done. And I'm always the one that has to go into work on my weekends if something needs to be handled. So I need all the time at home that I can get for myself, so that I'm ready for the next work week. Yet you went and got into that accident, which has now gone and taken all my time away because I have to care for you. Every time I have a day off, it's all about you needing me to come see you, and me needing to bring you new clothes. I don't want to do any of that for you anymore.
I think you need to calm down a little there, Gordon. I'm really sorry that this accident has caused you to take on a lot of responsibilities. But your wife, of all people, was in that accident and has to be in the hospital for a little while, so you as a husband need to bear with it and support me. Also, the reason I'm in this condition has to do in part with you, Gordon.
Huh? I never had anything to do with you ending up that way, Nicole. You were the one that fell behind me during all of that and got hit.
What?
You really want to start blaming me for what happened to your legs? Wow. How come I was totally fine, when that driver started to come at us at the crosswalk. Oh, I know, because I'm actually very fit and was able to move out the way. Maybe if you were actually paying any attention, you could have dodged out the way with me instead of being hit.
You have no right saying that about what happened. You were the one that grabbed my back and pushed me down to get ahead of me. If it wasn't for you throwing me to the ground, we both could have gotten out of that car's way. And then after I was hit by that car, you just stood there doing nothing besides yelling at me to get up. You didn't even bother trying to call the ambulance when all of that happened, Gordon.
Oh, shut the hell up. Anyway, you and I are done with. Divorce. Divorce, divorce, divorce. I'm not gonna care for some crippled woman anymore when it's her own doings that got her there.
Are you serious? You have no regrets or anything for what you just said? Do you not even care that I'm the wife you've been married to for 7 years now and have done so much for you? You're really just going to abandon me now after I ended up getting hurt in an accident you were a part of?
Hey, you want to start getting all upset about it, then be upset at yourself for moving like a dead fish. How dare you even think getting hurt bad enough by that car that you had to be put in a wheelchair when you have more important things to do than sit around? Maybe if you were like me and actually worked out for once, that car wouldn't have busted you up so badly.
Huh?
Next time I come to that hospital, I'll be bringing along the divorce papers. Your right hand still seems to work, so make sure you sign all of them for me. Sorry about today, Nicole. I asked you to come into the office like that for me with no warning at all, but you really did help me out a lot. Thank you so much for all that advice as well.
You don't have to worry about a thing, Ryan. I'm just happy I could be of some help for you. Also, all I really had to do was come into the office and ride around in that wheelchair for a bit, right? Takes me back to the days when I really needed one, you know?
But the fact that you have experience in them has really helped me a ton. The advice you've given me is very real, and will be taken into consideration, of course. Ever since one of my employees had that accident and needs to be in a wheelchair for a bit, I've wondered what all could be done to help make this office a more accessible place for him. So, because of you coming in today to help us out, we will be able to make some changes and get this office building to become even more open and accessible for all.
Just make sure that the first place you work on is that front incline leading up to the door and lobby. It was too steep for even me to muscle up, so that needs to be made longer and shallower. Although the other thing you can do while that construction is going on is having your employee work remotely while they recover.
That's a very good point, but the CEO has made it pretty clear that he doesn't want anyone working remotely. I've been talking with him to try and get some systems implemented to make remote work viable, but that won't be happening overnight.
Oh, is that right?
That's why the only other thing we can do is have our employees take time off until they're a lot better and can walk again. They keep going on about how much they want to come into work and get some things done. They were just made a lead member of our projects team after all. So, no matter how hard I try to get them to stay home, they keep on asking about coming in.
I suppose that must be very tough on you.
Well, so in order to allow them to make it back in, I'm going to work on making this whole office building more accessible. By using this situation as an opportunity to make the company all-inclusive, things will be a lot better for the future. And if we can get all the systems implemented that we need for remote work, everyone will benefit.
I think the same thing. It'll all take a lot of work, but I know you can do it.
Thank you. Having you put some faith into me like that really does get me pumped up. Now I'm going to be getting back to work here. Thank you again for coming in today. You're still in that wheelchair? Weren't you going on about how much effort you'd put into rehabilitating yourself? Look where all that effort has gotten you.
What? Is this your number, Gordon? If this is you, then tell me what you want with me.
Hey, come on, Nicole. I can't believe that after 5 years, I'd see you again. And honestly, I didn't even think you'd answer me after I sent you a message to see if you even remembered me. And you responded to me immediately, huh? Don't tell me these past 5 years has been you just waiting and hoping that I'd talk to you again someday.
Huh?
Well, I'm sure that's the case, ain't it? Even after being hit by that car, you're still in love with me and want me back. You might have gotten divorced from me, but that didn't stop those hopes you had of us getting back together someday.
You're only just getting back in touch with me, so please refrain from talking about me still loving you or anything else that off-putting. I don't want to get back with you ever again, and I didn't even know who this was, and that's why I responded the moment I saw the text come in. So please don't take that the wrong way.
Hey. Well, I don't like you trying to hide the obvious from me, alright? I'm finally getting back in touch with you after 5 years, so please, be honest and open with me.
I really wasn't asking for you to ever talk to me again. Now tell me, what do you want? Also, where did you end up seeing me today when I was in a wheelchair?
In the office today, in the office. I cannot believe that the company I transferred to would end up having you in the office. Well, when I saw you out the corner of my eye, I was surprised.
At the office? Wait, are you talking about green paper?
Oh, that's the place. To tell you the truth, after I divorced you, I ended up changing jobs and have been succeeding at life ever since. That's why I'm working for such a large company as Green Paper.
Is that right?
Before I came all the way here, I was working for one of their smaller offices, out in the countryside. However, after a little while of showing amazing results to all my higher-ups, they had me moved to the headquarters. So today was the day I came in to check the place out and see where my cubicle was. Then, that's when I saw the one person I never expected, my ex-wife. And to make things even more crazy at the time, you were still in that wheelchair. God, I laughed my ass off so hard in the break room.
I can't believe that today, of all days, you saw me. And hearing that you'll be working in the headquarters now? I guess there are some bad coincidences in life as well.
And was I surprised to see a cripple like you working for a large company now? Who thought this company would be alright hiring a divorced and crippled housewife who is no use to anyone?
Excuse me?
Ah, that's right. They probably hired you because you're in a wheelchair, right? All these large companies are doing things like that now, aren't they? Hiring cripples and the mentally unstable to work for them, so people think they're inclusive, right? They wanted to tell all the other useless divorced women that they understand them, and that's why they let you work here. How nice. And with that, you found yourself an easy position inside this Fortune 500 company. You should be thankful now that I let you get hit by that car, right?
What the hell?
Well, even though you have a nice job now that was given to you out of pity, I'm sure things are still very lonely for you, right? Luckily, I'm going to be working with you some, so let's you and I become close again as co-workers, alright?
No thanks. I don't want anything to do with you ever again, Gordon.
Hey, you. Are you sure you want to be talking to me in such a disrespectful way now? There is not another man in this world who cares about a crippled woman beside me.
Well, then let me tell you the truth. I happen to have a man in my life that loves me with every inch of his heart. I don't need you to worry about me for my life to be better than it was before.
Nice try. But don't start talking to me like you don't have a brain now, after you already lost the ability to walk around. Or could it really be true that you cripples are so lonely that you start to hallucinate having partners? Now this must mean you've really gone off the deep end.
Huh?
Well, I'll play nice with you. Take you out to dinner or something, since both you and I were given the chance of meeting one another again. I'll let the useless, crippled, and divorced housewife have one more chance at feeling loved. Yeah, but when you come out to dinner with me, make sure you're not using that wheelchair. I don't want to be embarrassed by having to be seen out in public with a cripple. It's been 5 years now, so you should at least have the strength to walk during a dinner date, right?
You'd better cut that crap out right now. Not only have you not been listening to a word I've been saying, but you keep on talking like you own me or something.
Huh. Why are you getting all upset with me now like that? Ah, perhaps it's because you still can't walk at all. You want to come out to dinner with me so badly, but since you can't walk, the only thing you can do is freak out like an animal, right?
Gordon?
It's been 5 years since you got ran over, and you still can't walk even a little. Well, I guess that means your life's over as a woman. You might as well put yourself out of your misery. Don't come into the headquarters ever again, Gordon. What? Are you able to read English? Or are you that mentally impaired that you need a caretaker around to help you out still? I just told you that this office no longer needs someone like you in it, so don't come back. Oh, so what it looks like here on my computer is that you were Gordon Gale, coming in from the office out in Mount Pleasant. And this month, and going into next month, you're supposed to be starting a new position here within the HQ. Well, I'm going to ask that you please stay home from now on, as we start to investigate you here within the company. Within a few days, HR will update you on what's to happen next with you. You can move on from there. What's all this about now? This isn't Nicole, is it? What the hell do you think you're doing showing up out of nowhere, talking a bunch of nonsense? Who the hell are you? I'm Nicole's husband, and I'm currently the COO of Green Papers, the company you've been working for. Huh? Yo, you're that one's husband? And the COO? Calling my wife that one is a little bit rude. Are you really someone this company thought was worth our time? Something tells me by the way you act that you shouldn't have even been allowed to transfer over to the HQ to work with anyone inside it. Wait. This is all so crazy, man. Stop it with all these stupid freaking jokes, will you? Now tell me who the hell you really are. I have not been joking about anything, Gordon. Now tell me, what part has been crazy to you thus far? Also, I just explained to you who I am. Green Papers COO. But after what was just going on, how could that be? There's no way she'd be married again. And the man she married is the COO of this company? Nah, man, that's all a load of bullcrap. And that's fine. You go ahead and believe whatever you'd like, but what I've said is all true. I would ask what I can do to make you believe, but you might need to call your caretaker first, right? Stop it with all the messing around, asshole. Can you not see that Nicole got ran over by a car? It's completely useless now. She's nothing more than a cripple. It'll never mean anything to anyone anymore. How the hell did she find someone to marry her? I'm not sure where you got the idea that Nicole is still in a wheelchair, or anything, but as far as everyone else can tell, she's walking around just fine. She did have to take some time to go to physical therapy and all after the accident, but there's nothing wrong with her now. If anything, from my point of view, the only person with anything wrong with them still is you. What? Nicole, she can walk? Yeah, and the way she walks is so beautiful to me. Standing next to her only makes me look better due to how powerfully she stands out. No way. That can't be. But because, she was in a wheelchair today. I saw her in the office. She was still rolling around in that thing like the cripple she is. Well, you just so happened to catch a glimpse of her at a bad time. Also, let's stop calling my wife a cripple, please. Not only is that word hurtful to her, but it's also very hurtful to those who are still dealing with physical disabilities and the like. Who do you think you are, to be calling someone else that when you're the one who needs to be placed in an institution? What? This company has a lot of people working in it, and within all those people are some struggling with disabilities of some sort. There are people who are paralyzed in certain ways, or perhaps have compromised immune systems or struggle with their mental health. There are people who have kids with such things, and those who are taking care of family with such things. Even people who are in wheelchairs or crutches due to injuries. We have all kinds of people working here, yet they all do their part and we thank them dearly for it. We don't care who they are, as long as they are getting the work they can get done. We're all happy. Yet for some reason there seems to be a virus among us, someone who was somehow hired to work for this company, yet does not care about inclusion like the rest of us. They seem to think they're better than everyone else, and can call those who they view as disabled or hurt cripples. What the hell is going on with you, Gordon? Hold on a sec. I'm just being real, okay? People who are crippled have to have others around them in order to be of any use, right? They all think that they can just live life like the rest of us, while causing all sorts of problems for us healthy people. So what you're telling me is that deep down, you feel that those with disabilities and health issues are causing problems for those who are healthy. Well, if that's the case, then the biggest cripple we have in this company is you, Gordon. Just hearing from you that you think of others in such a selfish and ignorant way is troubling to me. Huh? Alright. We figured this one out. You're going to be terminated. There's no way we can have a cripple such as yourself working in this company, as you'd disturb too many healthy people here. We'll make sure to do everything we can here to refrain from hiring those like you, and we'll start by letting you go. What the hell do you think you're doing? talking like you have any power in the company. Don't think you can just fire me that easy. You should know better than me that you need to have the higher-ups agree with such a thing before they let me go.
We'll see about that one. Now please stay home for the rest of the week and wait for HR to contact you.
Yo, Nicole, is your husband really the COO of Green Papers or something? I was just called by the HR department and they just told me I'm being fired. I'm being fired from multiple companies within the company.
That's what I expected from the man I love. He's so fast when it comes to work, and that's why I love him. Today I'm going to have to make up his favorite burgers for him to cook on the grill later tonight.
Would you stop screwing around already? It's because of your husband that this is happening to me. Because of him, your ex-husband is losing his frickin' job. How is any of this okay with you?
Huh? It's your own fault that you've been fired by the company, Gordon.
But, by the way, I never even heard about you getting remarried or anything like that. And to this COO, such a large company, why didn't you tell me about that earlier?
Why would I ever tell my ex, who abandoned me after that accident, anything about my life now?
That's right. But it wasn't after the accident, but after the use of your legs didn't come back. And what was that about you riding in the wheelchair in the office? I saw that with my own eyes. Yet I'm being told now that your legs actually healed up fully.
They really did, though. All of that rehab was really tough on me and made me want to give up so many times, but I powered through it. And because of all that, I no longer have to live a life where I struggle with getting around every day.
But then, why were you in a wheelchair that day?
I was asked to do so by my husband. He needed my help getting some advice on how accessible the office was for people in wheelchairs. So I came to the office with my wheelchair and rode around in it for a little bit to get an idea of how things were. Then I went and told my husband about all the goods and all the bads about the building's accessibility.
Is that right?
But you happened to see that for a second and took that as my reality before you began to harass me later that day. All of that fun you had sure was worth being fired over, right? What a frickin' dumbass you are. I was going to stay with you after that accident and try to support you as you recovered from it. But it seems that would have been no use, as even today, 5 years after the accident, your brain trauma is still causing you issues.
Huh?
Now I'm going to get out of here. I have a lot to take care of in this massive house, so it's time to get back to work. I've got to go and clean the front porch and then get dinner going. So, goodbye.
Please, Nicole, don't abandon me, please. You should be able to understand where I'm coming from emotionally right now, correct?
Oh, damn. I thought that goodbye text last week was enough to tell you not to talk to me anymore. Guess this is what my husband meant by you needing your caretaker around you at all times. So what is it now?
Oh, thank God. But I knew you'd still respond to me, even now. You really must still have feelings for me, right?
Huh?
I have some very good news for you. I just got into an accident, and I'm getting admitted to the hospital right now. Do you think you can come and see me? Right now? I would like you to stop by my place and grab both my wallet and some clothing for me.
Oh, hold on. You got into an accident?
I did. I'd been in a bad trance after hearing about how you remarried and because I just lost my job. And, well, as I was daydreaming, I walked out into the intersection on a red light and then I got messed up so badly that I needed to be taken to the ER. For the time being, they're saying I'll need to stay in a wheelchair.
Really?
But you, being the kind and considerate woman you are, wouldn't leave me to rot here, right? Go ahead and just leave that stupid husband of yours and come back to me, please.
Now why would I ever do such a brainless thing? Just do your best with all those painful surgeries you'll have to go through and hope they fix things like they did with me.
How am I supposed to get through all this on my own, though? The doctor is already telling me things aren't looking good at all for my legs, and that even surgery would be a waste of time. Well, I'm being told that after everything is done here at the hospital, I'll need years and years of therapy to even try and get sensation into my legs again.
Well, don't worry about all that. You said it yourself that it only takes 5 years to get enough sensation back into your legs to go out to eat again, right? If it was that easy for you to say such a thing about me, then it must be child's play for you. You'll probably be back on your feet in a year or two, considering you went to the gym all the time, right?
There's no way that'll happen. I can't feel anything. And my legs weren't the only thing that got screwed up. My back is all torn apart and so are some of my organs. And worst of all, I'm so lonely and scared right now. Because of this accident, things are already getting so lonely that I want to cry and cry and cry. Are you really going to just leave me like this?
Of course I am. Who wouldn't want to leave some problem-causing cripple like you behind after all? So now that you're aware of how I feel, good luck with all that pain and suffering you'll be exposed to. I hope that someday you'll get your legs back, because if not, you might just be better offing yourself or something. I like to think that those last couple of words from me really got to Gordon mentally, as I never heard another thing from him since. And as for my husband, he was able to really get his company to become more accessible for everyone, and is continuing to try and make things even better. He's even gone and gotten all of the systems implemented that'll allow for people to work remotely if need be, which was a huge accomplishment for him. And because of all his hard work so far, the company has had multiple articles written about the accessibility it's working towards. And this has led to him being accepted as the next CEO after the current one retires. As for what's been going on with my ex recently, he's still been in the hospital recovering from his injuries. However, the doctors there are in talks about having him transferred out of the hospital to a different one because he keeps causing problems for everyone who tries to help him. Also, there happens to be something else I heard about just the other day, and that's that Gordon had another woman. But due to his recent accident and the fact he started to go all crazy from it, she no longer wanted to stay with him. I'm sure there'll be more to come with his story in the future, but not much of it would be good news to anyone's ears.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.